Hello everybody, my name's Atley. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to SnowRunner hard mode playthrough. We are in the S05E24 equipped to long logging in the Big Salmon Peak Yukon map, and we're going to go and get loaded up with some long logs. In the previous episode we delivered the first batch of long logs for this map into what I considered to be the hardest location for long logs in this region. The one where I failed with the Pacific in the previous episode to get the delivery done. Got that done in the last episode by switching into this as of. We also got a silver on the contest and completed another task. So we made some fairly good progress in the last episode. In this one, we've got one contract of logging that is entirely long logs in Big Salmon Peak, and that's what I'm going to make some progress on, hopefully, in this episode. And then I've just dropped into the garage on my way down and taken off the log loading crane. Just because power to weight ratio, etc. I don't need the crane for the thing that I'm going to be doing, I hope. Obviously if I spill the logs or spill the truck, then I would need the long loading crane, but I'm hoping not to do either of those things. And probably just tempted fate, but we'll see. I don't need a loading crane unless I spill it, because I've got the Aramatsu at the logging camp in a position where it can load me up. Strange to say, considering that I got a bugged free 1800 litres of fuel in my Kodiak, and I also brought through 2800 litres of fuel with the Paystar Thirsty Girl, I'm getting very low on fuel again already. So we're getting to the end of the map, but we've still got some things to do. We've still got logging to do. I still want to be coming into this map to collect metal rolls. So I'm not done with this map by any stretch. So we may have a fuel challenge again. It's constantly fuel challenge, right? Kind of the nature of this game. But this is a particularly fuel efficient, good vehicle, so hopefully I'll be able to get some work done before I run into troubles. I haven't moved either the Taiga or the Ford pickup truck from where I left them at the end of the last episode. Not exactly sure where I need them next. Whether or not I would take them through, certainly the Ford I might take through into flooded foothills. The Taiga I will pick up the blue trailer and go down into the warehouse on this map and pick up metal rolls. I think that's the most sensible thing I can do. Take those metal rolls through to flooded foothills. And that might be like maybe 4 or 5 trips of doing that. Get this into... It's a particularly sticky bit. Anything substantial to winch from? So yeah, I've got a good bit of work to do on this map yet. And of course the nature of logging is that you're driving empty for half of the work, because you got to come back and get more logs. That should do, that should be straight enough. Engine off. Jump into the Aramatsu, which isn't overflowing with fuel, so I will probably chuck some fuel back in it. I can't remember exactly how much it's got. Yeah, 98 litres. So I'll have to take a bit of fuel. Let's just do that. I'm going to take some fuel out of the Azov, because the Azov can get some more while it's out on the road. Cargo mode, long logs. onto the loading platform. 1, 2, 3. Let's get these loaded. No shenanigans, just get them loaded, right? How hard can it be? I would rather actually pick up one at a time. It's pretty difficult to have any say in that, really. This crane is more powerful, so it does better with 2 than the crane that was on the Aramatsu at the start. That shouldn't be too far off. There we go. That was almost smooth, wasn't it? So I've got 2 choices as to which ones I want to deliver. Up into this icy mountain warehouse, or off to the warehouse at the other end of the map. I think I'm going to do the latter. For the simple reason that I've got chains on and I want to do that over this hill. I thought before coming up into this snowy mountain run, I might stick muds on, and hopefully that'll give me a slightly better journey up through the snow. So for the minute, I'm going to do the ones that are further away, but potentially with the road easier to get to. So basically back to the road, past the garage, past our cabin construction zone, and down into that warehouse. A route I know fairly well by now. Get this first batch delivered, and we need to take 2 lots up to that same warehouse. Both of those warehouses need 2 lots of long logs each. Which way did I go out last time then? I'm going to go through here. I don't like the look of that sharp bend. Can't remember whether I did this last time with logs. With the Pacific. Why am I drifting backwards? Yeah, I don't remember coming through here then. Tail of the truck. Onto that dirt big tree. Stuck on something, aren't I? What's in the ground here? So much for that clever idea. That's just a swampy, muddy mess, isn't it? Just see if I can tickle that over there. No. Well, what on earth have I done now? How does that even happen? I can't work out what I'm stuck on. And I've just managed to tip the logs out of the trailer without them unpacking. I don't even know how that's possible. What a mess. So I'm going to assume that's a bug of some sort, but unpack and they won't repack because they're not in the trailer. So I'm now going to have to get the Matsu to come and reload me. What did I say about not having a crane on? Isn't that just typical? Not having a crane on. Luckily I put some fuel in the Aramatsu and I'm really close. So let's pack the crane. I have to go and repack. Of course, what should have happened is the log should have just unpacked when I tipped them a bit. My fault. I did something trying to move the trailer over. I didn't expect the logs to bounce out of it, get it reloaded. But yeah, there's a good example of why maybe I should have kept the crane on, or should have just brought the Aramatsu to pull me back out of that piece of sticky mud. Not going to reach him, am I? Not going to reach him from there. Well, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that little bit of shenanigans right at the very start. Well, I thought I was doing the easy bit. Right, see if I can reach them okay there. Sometimes it's just as difficult when they're close. It's now got a good grip. There we go. Hopefully that'll pack. Still the crane. I want to back it up just so that it's out of the way. Right, so now, not messing about. So all of those stumps made me think that I couldn't possibly have driven out that way last time, because it looks, I don't remember that sharp bend, but I'll look back at the footage. I'm sure I did. It's got a pretty good turning circle because the rear axle steers. As you will all know, I'm just saying the obvious really, but yeah. Alright. Let's get back on the road, but yeah, that caught me by surprise. Didn't expect to have any trouble there with that bit. I think when it comes to medium logging, I'm going to put the medium logging add-on back on this truck for now and basically use this as my logging truck for the foreseeable. "20 minutes in, and so I've basically wasted about 10 minutes. 20 minutes into the recording. Obviously I'll time lapse a lot of that, so it will be 20 minutes for you guys, but yeah, fairly typical for me, isn't it? Starting like that. I do remember last time that swinging wide out of this water didn't work for me. I just got stuck in some stuff. See if it will trundle through in high, but a little bit closer to the poles. Yeah, that's alright. And then hopefully it's a fairly easy delivery. And I won't take that shortcut next time. I need to make a start back over on flooded foothills. I had a little look at the map before I started recording this, and I need to reacquaint myself. It's been that long that we've been focused on Big Salmon Peak that I've kind of lost track a little bit of everything there is to do there and where all the locations are. So I'm almost at the point of relearning Flooded Foothills when we go back. Pretty sure I'm going to be taking all the metal rails that are needed for the gold mine through from here. You can't see what's under this. We've picked up a better bit of terrain. Stuck. Be careful with it, but try and get a little bit of forward help. These little logging trailers are not my favourite. Not by any stretch. Let's have a look at it from the full picture for a minute and see how we do. The way that trailer bounced then. Funny. The anti-terrorist barriers are gone because I blasted him with a horn on the way past. Funny how stuff like that despawns once you move it. Coming into the dark, let's get some lights on. And maybe let's mix it up with a bit of cab view for a minute. Which does feel good with the steering wheel driving. Because that wheel is tracking the physical wheel really well. There's a couple of people that do YouTube content where they have a webcam set up that looks at the wheel so you can see their driving inputs while they're driving in the sort of top corner of the screen, and I have thought about doing that. I'm going to pull in here and grab, there's not much fuel left in the Paystar, but I'm going to come in here and grab some fuel at the Paystar just to be sure. Because I put some in Aramatsu. Let's have a look what we got. Right. I think there's only about 40 litres left in the Paystar's main tank now. The Kodiak main tank is about the same or empty. So yeah, we are pretty low on fuel now. Cut this corner because it's safer than going around that power pole. Just angle the camera slightly so I can see the logs in the back. Can't really see them, it's dark. But as it's coming into dark, with decent lights on the truck, hopefully this view goes to alleviate something that myself and Rusty Reese have been discussing in comments about how unwatchable content can be when it's just night all night. You know, when you're playing at night, anything not in the headlight beam you can't see. So maybe this view works better. Obviously not all driving tasks are easy to do from the cab because you can't see, or I don't have as good visibility. But that might be alright for nighttime viewing on YouTube maybe. Feels good to drive this way. It's a bit quieter. Western Star twin steer on the left as we go past. And I am cruising along in 5th gear also. And I know the route well enough to not turn right and head down to the other place when I'm meant to be going this way. I generally don't drive in cab view because in general I think it's less interesting to watch. It's obviously really immersive, especially with a steering wheel, like I say. It's really good in a way. But you don't get as good, you know, it's nice to see the truck when you're driving. At the moment, you're seeing the scenery, not the vehicle. Be interesting on what people's opinions are of the relative merits of each. I left it in auto over that hill because we were not too bad with this truck. You got good braking, good engine braking on it. You hear that? So I don't know what's going on. Ever since I started using the wheel, that happened during the contest in the last episode. I'm not touching any buttons here. I'm just driving with my foot on the pedal, accelerator. But the engine cut out and then auto restarted itself, and I didn't press any buttons. So auto restart, fine. My foot's on the pedal. But I don't wonder if something in the steering wheel is giving a fake signal that I pressed the button to turn the engine off. Drop it into low high. Pretty sure I'm going the right way. Let me just double check the map. Yeah, I knew that this path goes in 3 routes. I was just checking I was on the right one. Right, back out to external view. It'd be funny if I did that and the logs were gone because I'd left them behind somewhere. Back in cab view. And pull into the loading area. There we go. Engine off. Cargo, one lot of logs, delivered, done. Now, I've got to turn around with this trailer on. That did not go well. I'm going to have to go into the external view so I can see what this trailer is trying to do to me. Sometimes the trailer will just hop and skip. I think a combination of the terrain last time up on that log delivery destination meant that the trailer snagged, and it was the truck that gave. Nope, nope, nope. No. Really? Really? Oh my days. Autonomous winch, anyone, please? Oh no. Oh no. That is quite annoying. What do I want on this truck? Do I want this reconfigured? Is there any cargo? I'm going up there, it's got cargo in there, I might as well grab at least some cargo while I'm there. Let's do something useful other than just pick the truck up. Stick the loading crane, stick the sideboard bed. This is full of fuel because this took nearly all of the fuel that was left in the Kodiak. I haven't got a trailer to use for it, I don't believe, because I've got the red 4-slot trailer is full of the red 4-slot trailer has got cabins on it. So I haven't got another trailer to take up with me. It would almost be worth buying one, but no. And I have looked into it. Let's do this one in cab view as well. I have looked into it, and in Flooded Foothills we only need 2 cabins. So on this map we needed 3, but Flooded Foothills we only need a maximum of 2 per delivery. So recycling them the way that I did in this map, where I pick up the ones that I've just delivered because the game didn't delete them and reuse them for the next delivery, I can do that with what's already on that trailer. So the one other cabin that's on this map I'll just leave on its loading platform. So filling this Tatra Force up with probably a couple of metal rolls, not a bad idea anyway, basically. Put my all-wheel drive on. That doesn't need diff lock as well, surely. What must... Oh, somehow my handbrake went on. That's probably me turning the wheel and trying to do something and hit the wrong one. Right, let's get back in the cab. Deja vu all over again. Passing the Twin steer on the left there. Just saw you, mate. And the truck's going to be like, didn't you just go past in a different truck? I haven't seen you come back yet. How are you doing this then? I need to just start disconnecting those log trailers, turn the truck around, throw a winch on it. It even went through my head when I was doing it, but because it was flat tarmac, I thought I'd get away with it. But turning those trailers is horrible. Because they got too short a wheelbase to reverse and steer properly. Drive more carefully. Keep saying it. Don't do it though, do I? Right. Photo opportunity that was too horrific to miss. Let's get this back on its wheels. Then let's get myself out of the way. For the next delivery, I'll load this Tatra up with some metal rolls. I think there might be one pallet of bricks and some metal rolls here, and I'm pretty sure I need plenty of both of those on the other map, so I will load before I leave this area. But just in case I have a problem next time I'm up here, I'll leave the Tatra Force parked there. Just saying. What am I like? Back in the cab. Lights on. Let's get out of here. I'm seriously a bit mad at myself for doing that. Doing it once is funny, especially with the timing of when I did it before. In the last episode saying, oh yeah, Lexa did this and she tipped the truck over. And boom, over I go. Doing it again. And I know how dangerous those trailers are. Definition of stupidity, innit? Can't see what that winch is on. That's the downside of being. Right, let's get back. I don't know if I want to do another batch of logs. What's the time? What's my timings? Yeah, I think a sensible thing to do is just to get this warehouse finished. So we're going to get back down. We're going to load up another lot of logs and we're going to bring it up to this same place. Hang on. I thought I'd overshot there. For some reason I just had it in my head. I saw this bit of road and I thought, hang on a minute, I thought I'd gone past the factory. But no, it's next turn right. What's my fuel like? Not bad. It's a pretty fuel efficient truck, this one. Suggestion made today in comments that maybe I've been talking about wanting another truck as a medium log specialist. Well, it wouldn't be a totally daft idea to buy another Azov 73210, one of these. Now, I haven't got any other duplicate trucks in my fleet, but if any truck deserves it, it's possibly this one. That should not be that sticky. I'll keep popping out into function menu to check my fuel gauge, but I suppose if I look down, I'm probably going to find it in this cab, aren't I? Be careful not to crash while I'm doing that. Let's see if working fuel gauge on this one. Yeah, on the right there, just above the indicator stalk on the dashboard, there's a fuel gauge, shows just over half full. I like that level of detail that they've done on these cabs. Some of them you can't quite see the fuel gauge because you can't move the camera well enough for it, but yeah, I like that. I like that. Working dials inside the vehicle. Cockpit camera not available underwater. That's funny. Yeah, it won't let me go. I just about got shallow enough there. But does that mean... Yeah, I can't see water in the cab, but it keeps throwing me out the cockpit because it says I'm underwater. Can't have a camera underwater. Fair enough. Sorry, drives. Look at him, look, it's up to his neck. Poor fella. I'll have unions on me. I'm pretty sure this second log delivery is the only thing I'm going to get done now. With the 2 episodes of Shennanigans. But it does mean that next episode I will do the other 2 batches of long logs. And I think that'll mean we will be completely finished with long logs on this map. There's long logs to deliver in... Well, so there's long logs to deliver in flooded foothills. And I think I read a comment, and I'll have to look back through and find it, that said they got the long logs for flooded foothills from here because they found this little bit of water before you get onto asphalt to be a better route than going up around the icy lake for the log camping flooded foothills. So yeah, possibly I'll have a look at doing the same. And change into the Aramatsu. Put it back in external view. Don't know what you guys thought of the nighttime driving being done in the cab, whether it made it better. Can't say I'm going to do it all the time because it doesn't always suit the task, but I mean, just delivering long logs down the road, that part of it was easy. I've got nearly half a tank of fuel in the Aramatsu as well, so I don't feel the need to steal more fuel out of the Azov just yet. Get back to the second load, which we should have been doing half an hour ago. I hadn't had all of the trouble. At least that's going well. Commentator's curse. It's a pretty good angle to load them because I don't need to spin the spinny thing. That's the official name for it from now on. Change into the Azov, pack them. Let me see if we can do this one without any shenanigans, please. Is that alright with you guys? Do you mind? I'll just get it delivered without messing about so much. You can see why I tried to go across there, right? I'm not even going to try it now. I'm just going to do the round the circle bit. But you can see why I wanted to go across there, because this is a pretty sharp bend and I didn't fancy it. And I still don't really. Stumps everywhere. Get yourself a stump grinder, mate. Get rid of them. Chainsaw, stump grinder, bulldozer, and a road gritter, salter. Wouldn't be a bad idea. So I've been thinking, I haven't looked any more at public test server since the last time, so I'm not gaining, I'm not stating anything based on any sort of useful information. I'm just speculating now. But if I remember from comments correctly, when they introduced logging to this game in one of the phases, they retrospectively went back and added logging to maps that hadn't previously had logging. I'm sure somebody's confirmed that in comments before. So I'm wondering, and the Don region made me think about this when I was editing that footage, whether farming would do the same. So there's plenty of places, Michigan, Tamir, not so much Alaska, not so much here, but Michigan, Tamir, and the Don region at least, where there are existing fields that are just muddy swamp. And this is a bit of speculation. I'm wondering whether they would take that farming mechanic that they've invented for Phase 8 and retrospectively add content, because it's an easy thing for them to do, right? If they've invented the mechanic and they've got maps that have got bare fields that aren't in use, all they've really got to do is define the yellow box area around the field to make it a farming zone and add some contracts or tasks that are a copy of what they do in the Phase 8 region, which I still can't remember the name of, by the way. So yeah, I'm speculating as to whether or not we're going to see, interested in you guys' thoughts on if you played this game from the start, whether what they did for logging, first of all confirming that I have remembered that comment properly, which I'll try and find it, but it's quite difficult to find a specific comment. But I'm sure I remember reading that from somebody. What do you reckon? Do you reckon they would bring farming to other maps and regions that have already got basically fields defined? Would they do that? I guess the cost is that, I believe, especially for hard mode, right? It's not a problem really for anybody playing on easy mode, but the trailers or the farming implements, the plough or the cultivator, the planter and the harvester are all trailers. So basically if they did that, you'd have to do Phase 8 presumably to unlock them and to get the tractors, but then you'd also have to go like to Don, if you might, which you might have already finished with, and buy that trailer again, which in hard mode would suck. I'm gonna have to do this again. I really hate putting a winch on these trailers because I don't trust them, but needs must a little bit. Just gotta be ready to drop it the moment it looks like it's going to cause me some trouble. Right, let's get it delivered without any trouble, please. The trailer drifting around the corner is potentially in the category of what I would call trouble. Easy enough to forget that the truck has got chains but the trailer hasn't. Get complacent with that. Excuse me a moment. I thought I might take a photograph of it while it's actually got logs in it and it's not on its side. $79 litres. I'm going to slurp whatever I can out of this Kodiak, which may not be much. Change into the Kodiak. Refuel. Take all of that. So the fuel add-on is empty. And I've got 40 litres in the Kodiak, which is enough to get me back to garage. But that's that one empty. What do I do, right? I'm almost certainly, well, I am certainly going to be doing another fuel run to Michigan in the Paystar. As I've said before, it's cheaper to buy it in Michigan at $2 a litre and pay the deployment fee twice. 3,500 each deployment, so 7,000 plus the cost of the fuel is cheaper than buying it here at $6 a litre. So I'm going to be doing another fuel run to Michigan, definitely. Probably more than one, to be fair, but I'm going to definitely be doing that. So the question then becomes, do I do that and deploy it here in Big Salmon Peak, and then when I've finished in Big Salmon Peak, take what's left through to Flooded Foothills? Or do I deploy it to Flooded Foothills and bring a bit back into here? Because what I don't want to do is drive the Paystar between those two garages, because the Paystar will pretty much consume as much fuel as it's carrying. It's not that bad, but I'll talk about it. I really like the Paystar 5600 TS, but it has got a 2-inch hole in its fuel tank. Everywhere you drive, you use twice as much fuel as you need to, which is a real shame, because again, as per some discussions in comments, endgame for this is dominated by Russian trucks. I think for balance, I think the game could do with some endgame US trucks. And I think the Paystar would be an endgame US truck, other than the fact that it's got a 2-inch hole in its fuel tank. I'm loving the driving wheel experience now that I've got it working to my satisfaction, but mostly I'm loving the shifter experience. It's just so natural to switch gears now, whereas I used to struggle with mouse and keyboard to get the mouse movement in the right pattern to shift gears quickly, whereas now I can drop it into, like I did then, out of auto and into low high really fluently. I've churned this up a little bit and it's causing me to get stuck, so I'm just gonna try a slightly different route and get into some virgin snow. Engine cut out again there for no reason. Quite strange that that suddenly started happening. Doesn't matter, it doesn't the engine immediately restarts. It's just I've only noticed that since I got the steering wheel. Right. Let's engine off, cargo delivered. Now I am going to turn it around before I end the episode, because otherwise, if I tip it over, you guys wouldn't see it, and I really don't like even the idea of hiding things. But let's just show you how. Let's just do it the way that you should do it, knowing the features of this trailer. You should drop the trailer, turn your truck, get your truck more or less where you want it to be. See if you can get a winch on. Pull it forward. And then reattach. That is how you turn around safely with one of these dumbass trailers. Yeah, it's a dumbass driver. The trailer's not a fault. Driver error. I'm just proving that I can learn lessons eventually. Yeah, so let's get this out onto the road. This is going to go straight back to the logging camp and get another batch to take up to the other warehouse near the gateway. But, well, above the gateway basically, but up into the snowy hills above the gateway. I'm just doing this to get myself out of any possible shenanigans before I sign off the episode. I can see some sunlight up ahead. Let's get parked in that. The driver needs to get out and air his clothes out from the drownings that I've given him in this episode. There we go. Bit of warmth on the cab for him. Let him dry up a bit. So that is going to be a wrap for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I didn't get as much done as I wanted because I tipped the truck over. Almost tipped it twice, spilled the cargo out and then tipped it over. So yeah, shenanigans galore. But hopefully you enjoyed watching it. I hope to see you in the next episode where we will continue with logging and get the Big Salmon Peak long logging finished, and then hopefully, if time permitting, put this into medium logging mode and think about doing some medium logs as well. So all that's for next episode. In the meantime, thank you and goodbye.